Because I came here in 2010 to do a master's and go back. That was the intention. But God has a different plan for my life. But before then, I've been to India. I've studied software engineering. I'm a Java programmer. So I've got a very sound technical background. But again, coming to the United Kingdom was a different story altogether. But the first thing I want to point out for us as Christians, as believers, if I'm to deliver the same seminar, which I've done in the secular world, I'll probably tweak it a bit. But I'm going to say it very clear and simple for you to understand. Listen, in your service to God will create the opportunity you need for you to thrive in your society or anywhere you find yourself. I repeat that. Your service, your availability for God will pave way for what God is going to give you in a society you find yourself. What do I mean by that? Anything we are doing as Christians, we know that we believe in God. God is the giver of all things. But quickly, I want us to just quickly touch on a Bible, just one Bible verse, which I think I should do, which says that we should commit our plans into the hands of God, and He will do what? It will establish and direct our path. Now, there's so many scriptural verses that backs everything we do as Christians. So the first thing you must know in your career pursuit, there has to be God's backing. You need to have God, because you as a Christian, that's what makes us different as Christians. We must know that we're not doing this by ourselves. We must go to the source. I'll tell you a quick story. When I after my master's in 2011, I was in the library. I was preparing to writing my thesis for my PhD. And I saw a girl. I was single then, and I approached the girl to say, I want to marry you. And she said, no, you need to go and see my pastor, Pastor Rufus, the same pastor. And we went to pastor, and I introduced myself. And pastor said to me, are you a born-again Christian? I said, Pastor, the kind of Christianity I do is one leg in and one leg out. And I said to me that, you know what? You need to, come closer to God. And He guided me. Pastor Rufus was the officiating minister in my wedding. In the church, what I used to do, I used to sit at the very back of the church on a Sunday. And when the church finished, I would run off. I would go and stay outside and wait for my wife to come. When she comes, we'll go home. So that continued. And at that time, I was doing, the kind of jobs I was doing were jobs that are not supposed to be. I did IT. There was no way I should be doing, I will not even mention it. But this is what happened. And that's where I said God comes in the picture. There was one day I was praying, I was telling God, I need a change. I need a change. And God told me, I had the voice, what are you doing for me? What are you doing for me? You come to church, you sit at the back, you listen, you dance, because I like dancing, and you go home. My wife is, she's the head of hospitality. She will do all the cleaning. I will wait for her till she finishes around 3. I will be in church, and I will go home without doing anything for God. I know why I'm telling you this story, because this would help you also. It is the way, because I think that certain things, when we change it, God will start to act immediately. So after one Sunday, I got home and I was saying, God, this thing is strong in my heart. I want to change my job. I'm not happy with this job. This job is not giving me what I want. And God said, go back. Tell Pastor Rufus, you want to be a cleaner in the church. I want to join the cleaning department. I will come with my suit. I will take out the suit. When they finish going, I will start to clean. That is how I started. I started cleaning the church. When my wife, in fact, I tell my wife, wait for me because I've not finished cleaning the toilets. She will wait, we will finish. The service to God started changing things. I'll cut that story short. In 2000, when COVID started, I was telling God that, God, I want you to promote me from cleaning. Yes, that's the truth. I want you to promote me from cleaning in your house. I want to do cleaning and something else. And that was why COVID came. The meeting, the Sunday before there was a complete lockdown, Pastor Wolf was at the ministers' meeting and talked about we need somebody that would be able to do online stuff because we don't know what is going to happen with COVID. So what happened is, I said, somebody mentioned, that brother, he's a technical person, go and bring him. I was in the car, I finished my cleaning, they came and called me. I went into the pastor's office and the pastor said, come, you studied IT, right? Please, how do we set up online presence so that in case they lock down the church, we would have a presence? That is how I became the head of technical in that church. During the period of COVID, I was going to pastor's house, take pastors, go to the church, we broadcast live from phone to what we have today. By the grace of God, I built that. Now, this is what God did. Because I was still in the job I got, right? I was asking myself, I don't have the time to serve you. God, I don't have the time. Because I am stressed. I want to be in on Wednesday, faith Bible studies, Thursday, faith clinic, Saturday, I'm in church, Sunday. I said, God, I want something else. I want a job that will give me the availability to serve you. And God gave me a job that I don't need to go into the office. I work from home 24/7. I don't need to go anywhere. Because that is the same God we serve. So, what am I trying to say with this? If you are in this church and you are the type that come in and you're not available for the work of God, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Please review what you're doing. Because if you serve God, I guarantee you, it will shoot you to the level you want to be. Praise the Lord. Let us now go into what we're here for. I just want to build that foundation because I think that is really important for us to understand that what we do in the house of God is not joke. Now, if you've got the slide on, the second slide, I have put in a lot of information you would get online. So if you go to Facebook, there are jobs. If you go to LinkedIn, there are jobs. If you go to Indeed, there's so many jobs you can find. There's so many. With introduction of artificial intelligence, there's so many things you can do. Are you in the category where you don't know how to use these tools? Are you using these tools in the wrong way? By the grace of God, I was sifting for a role in my department, and there was this application that came in. I picked up the application, and 7 applications were the same thing. The CVs were all the same, and all of them were Nigerians. All of them were Nigerians. They graduated from the same school in Nigeria. They had the same experience in Nigeria. They have the same experience here. They have the same reference here. And when I looked at it, I took those CVs. I ran it through AI, and it showed the similarities. So what I do from there is that one person has done something and they have copied it all through. Or now they do this online training where people go and do short courses and they give you CV template, and you people go, and some people just go and take it and they duplicate it. So what we did, myself and the other person said, okay, we will invite one person. Well, it was a shameful thing because I am a Nigerian. Seeing something like that, it was shameful. She now asked me, is it possible for people to go to the same school in Nigeria, come to the UK, work in the same place? I said it's possible. I said it's possible because it was shameful. I said it's possible. She now said, but they are not siblings. And I said, listen, there is a chance that these people are working in groups. The woman did not believe me, but it was too shameful. So please, we have these tools, but how do you use them? How do you use them? I'm going to tell you some things or some tips, because this is not going to be like a one-to-one, because in Dundee we have a job club. We do it every month, and we take people on and teach them, all right, how to use these tools. So, but there are a lot of tools you can use. So if you need the link or you don't know how to use them, let me tell you some key things you need to know. So in using these tools, please, to the next slide. The next slide, please. Slide 4. Now, some of the things you need to know when you're using these tools is, number one, for those of you that can use it, for those of you that cannot use it, we can talk about it later. Thank God you guys are setting up a mentorship program. We have that already in Dundee. This is things you should do. Set a job alert on the sites for interested jobs that you want to apply for. I know we do this. These things are things we do, right? Tailor your CV. I've been a work coach in a job center before, in 2014. Now, you see people bring CV. They bring a one-line CV and say that is their CV. And at times, they don't have the experience to back what they want to apply. As a job coach, what I do is, I'll now talk about what are your experiences? What have you done in the past? And they will say, yes, that they were doing this, they were doing that, and because of that, I start typing. And by the end of that, I give them a copy of what their CV should be like. And they will look at it and say, like, yeah, that is me. Now, your CV tells your story. It is not only work-based experiences. It is also experiences you get outside work. So when you do want to apply for a job, please don't. Some people use the same CV. They apply for care, NHS, civil service. They apply for one CV. It doesn't work that way. Every job is tailored to the job you are applying for. A good example is, currently, I wear so many caps. Currently, I'm a business analyst. I'm also a contractor. I'm also a scrum master. I'm also a tester. I'm also a developer. Now, I can easily say, oh, I'm tired of this job. Because God has not told me yet. When God tells me, I move. If God tells me that, no, this job is something I want you to change. I want you to go and get a tester job. I will see the job. I will take my CV. And because I've had experience doing that job, I tailor my CV to that job and I will apply for that job. And if I do apply, this is one thing I do, which probably you can copy. If you apply for a job with one CV for 1 week and nobody contacts you, pull down that CV. Bring it down. If you apply for a job and you don't get any contact, that CV is not working. Take it down. Review that CV. A CV is a working document. You need to constantly work on it. Also, we do what we call the LinkedIn one. We know that. Some people take pictures. They do everything on LinkedIn. That is very, very attractive. If you go on my LinkedIn page, you can search on my name. It is very attractive. What people perceive you, we have shortlisted people for interview based on their profile on CV, on LinkedIn. So if you think, I don't need an online presence, if you don't have Facebook, have LinkedIn account. Take a fine picture, graduation picture. Take your suit, your Christmas suit. Take picture and put it there. Because we go and look and say, what is this person doing? Oh, okay. There's something that links to us. As a business analyst, I talk every single day. I present every day. So if I'm to talk to a stakeholder that I don't know before, what I do is I go on LinkedIn, read their profile. So when I'm having a chat with them, they'll say, this guy, he talks like me. Because I've done what? I've profiled them before the meeting. So let your presence on LinkedIn be accurate of who you are. Don't say what you are not. Oh. Now, let me give you this advice, and thank God the Holy Spirit has just said this to me. Some of us have just come in recently. You take certain jobs, right? And I'll give you 2 instances. There is a guy that is currently part of our training program. He took a care job, and the care job needed driving. So this guy didn't have driving license, and he was driving. So unfortunately, he got into a car accident. When he got into the car accident, luckily the person didn't die, but he was charged to court, and he was fined. So on our platform, we're helping him. So I had a one-to-one interview preparation. This guy smashed the interview, got the job. In fact, his grade was fantastic. He got the job, basically. So this guy started waiting for start date. And he will email me, bros, nothing, bros, nothing. I was like, what is going on? And I said, send an email to the HR. Ask them what is stopping your start date. And HR came back to him and said that they need to contact the vacancy holder to clarify something. Meanwhile, when they did the check, they found out that this guy had an offense in his record of driving. And they were waiting for the vacancy holder to advise if he was to be given the job. And the person said, no. Don't give, we are disadvantaged already, but by the grace of God, we are not. But because we find ourselves here, don't give the enemy the reason to reject you for what you should get. That guy lost that job. We're still working. But if you are doing a job that is not the kind of job you would want in the long run, please, I beg you in the name of God, don't get involved in anything that can tarnish that goal. You can say, there was a guy that we interviewed recently, they said, immigrants, they come and take our jobs. We don't have job. And I asked him the question. And I said to him, you said immigrant, he's a white person. He said, immigrant. He said, so why are you not working? He said, because I've got a criminal record, assault. Because he's got a criminal record, he will not get the sort of job that somebody will come from abroad to get. So please, let us not be pursuing care, pursuing security, doing illegality, driving without, I'm not praying it will, but it has consequences, and God frowns against it. So please, let us not do this. If you are here, you are driving without a license, and you think you are getting away with it, please go and sit for your driving. Pass it. Because once you are settled and you think, oh, let me go for the big thing, the devil will now say, okay, let me come and catch you here. So please, let us watch that. Apply directly on the site of the companies. Don't apply on, those third-party guys. But those guys would use their discretion to sift you out if you don't meet their specification. So, and some of you who apply, myself, applied, went to Leeds, Birmingham. I've sat stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4, they will call me. That you do meet the criteria, but what are you going to take? And I will say, okay, give me 70. They will not say, okay. They will not say, yeah, we'll give you 70, but the role is for 100. So they will use that word to say, why am I asking less? When I ask more, they will say, why are you asking more? It was so difficult, but please, let us apply wisdom. And the basics for this is our Creator. Let us always go to God. So when you apply to the company directly, you will get a response. Some of you have applied the list. There's a doctor, and I'm working on just now. He has a spreadsheet of the jobs he has applied for a lecturing role. They will not take him. But the one that actually took him now gave him a lower role. And he said, I will not take it. I'm bigger than it. I said, bros, take this one. Because what you want to build is a UK experience that you don't have. So another thing I would say, again, I'm touching a lot, so I'm not going to go through the slide because I'm touching all the things I need to say. If you are given a job that you think is a job, is a career path you want to go, if that job is an entry role, please, I beg you, take it. Some of you, a woman in church last Sunday and the husband, they met me when I was driving out. She said, but Peri, I've secured the job and my start date is this, but I'm not going to take the job. I looked at the woman, I said, after you done stress me, you can't say no. And I said, what's the reason? She said, because the money is too small. I looked down and looked up. I said, listen, do you know what it took me to get that money like 10 years ago? Somebody said something just now in the workers' rally. He said, information is important. The circle of people you keep is important. Now, we've been in situations where, for us, I don't know when Pastor came in. I came in 2010. I had nobody. All the information I had to do was I sourced them myself. I wasn't affiliated to any church. But all the people that have come, by the grace of God, in our church in Dundee, we've done it so well that we review even the youth. All of us, we are in a group. We are checking on them. What are you doing? That care job, we're giving you 2 months. You need to move. Because, do you know why we're doing that? We don't want people to be complacent. We don't want people to feel too comfortable. We need to push people. That is where your mentors come in. So we review them and say, what are you doing today? You are in school, what are you studying? Personally, in my IT department, I have 4 young teenagers that I mentor. One is doing software engineering in Napier University at the moment because she feels that she likes what I was doing because she saw me doing it. She went for software engineering. In fact, the mother even texts me, is she in church now? I say, I'm not in church because I'm here. But people will now, you will have people. Do you know one thing? The church has a lot of abundance of talent in the church, but we don't use them. We look at things that are not, things that are very far. So please, I want us to make sure that when we do have, let us use the group, the networking that we have. Let us have those networking contacts within the church. It helps to boost a lot of communications, and it helps people to move forward. There are things I've talked about, attending virtual career sites, online things. All those things are things you know. For those that don't know them, then your job club would also assist you to do that. Now, personally, if you go to slide 5 for me, I want to touch on that slide. What you need to do to navigate to the next job is assessing what I call, I'm a business analyst, so I use those terms a lot. You need to do a gap analysis of your life, of your knowledge, basically. What do I have now? What job do I want now? What do I need to do to get to that job? If you're doing a job that you're just doing to get by, the question is, I need to start to improve. Training, retraining is never enough. So always check. If I want us to take assessment of what we're doing now, if you're having a paid job, I'm not satisfied though, let me be honest with you, but I listen to God all the time. If God says move, I move. But until God tells me to move, I'm not going anywhere. I do other things online, but the most important thing is that I'm listening to God. So let us do a gap analysis of our current state. What am I doing now? Does it meet my needs? Does it meet my availability to serve God? Am I happy doing this job? Some of us come here and we just jump into care because our circles have told us that is the part. Who told you that it's only care that gives COS? I have testimonies of people that we have coached, that we have trained, that has, by the grace of God, gotten COS without doing care jobs. So this lady I was talking about that I deviated said the money was too small. So I told the husband and herself the same thing. I said, Ma, sir, You people, both of you are working as a team, right? They said yes. And I asked the man, what do you do? He said, he does security. I said, what do you do? She said she does nothing just now. And I said to her that, do you want to build a career or do you want a job that would help you secure your stay in the country? She said she needed a job that would make her, she wanted a job that would give her money. Money. And I said that, why did you stress me? Because what I was thinking for you was you wanted a career. Because it's different for you to make, a career will give you money. But if you want, and I said to her that when you enter a particular department, especially with the civil service, which I'm going to stop with because I've got a lot of experience there. If you enter a job and you want to move to the next level, what should come to your mind is, what are the vacancies and the opportunities that that job is going to give me? What are the chances in that job that I'm going to get that will lead me to the next one? We need experiences. So I told the woman, please, take this job, work 3 months in this job, get the UK experience, that UK experience we are clamoring for. Because if you put that organization on your CV and you apply for that job you are looking for, you will get it because they know that you have a reference from a reputable organization. Oh, she said, she didn't think it that way. Oh. I said, listen, that is why I want you. So it's not about money. I said, if you combine your income of your husband and the income of yourself just now, are you able to meet your target? She said, yes. I said, listen, that is why I'm saying, take this job, give yourself a time frame of 3 months, make sure you've passed your probation. What you need to do next is take the experiences, use that job as a leverage to look for something else. And also, I'll touch quickly, some people come here and do courses that, in fact, you will not give you, I'm not saying it, but those courses will not guarantee you a job in the UK. But you've done it, you've come here. Why not use that job as a leverage to get something better? Why do I say that? And I will talk about that later, but use that job use that certificate that you've gotten in something that you probably just, let us be honest with ourselves. Some people did some courses because they just want to come over. Those courses are not marketable. But you've done the course. You are here now. What next? So you will need to look at what you want to go into. And I'll touch 2 key areas, civil service and the project management, which I do at the moment. My background is accounting, IT, and business analysis. I can move over anytime I want. But I'm listening to God because the service to God is something I don't play with at all. So please, let us do a gap analysis. Understand where we need to improve on. If you need training, do an action plan of what I need and start to meet those plans. And God will help us as we go through in the mighty name of Jesus. I talked about adapting to change. Now, some of you, I've seen people that they will start CV to apply for a job. The job is closing next week. They will leave it because the other job they do is so tedious. For example, you go to 12 to 12 shift, 9 shift, and you come back, you're tired. There's a job you can apply for, but because you're tired mentally, you can't sit to do it. You lose that chance. Attitude. Because our attitude are not right. We're not finding time to say, okay, this is my target. This is what I want to do. Let me change the landscape. Let me rewrite this story now. So what I would say is, please, let us change the mindset of, I am comfortable sitting here. Change the attitude of, another one will come. Who told you? Do you know if that was the one that God has given you already? Let us not be comfortable. Let us not. There is a lady, quickly, that she is doing care. She came here with the care. The husband came. And they were both contemplating. Luckily, the husband spoke to me. He went to do project management. And I said to him that we did some training in-house. Do mentorship and shadowing. He got a job as an entry role in NHS as a business support officer, something like that. And he started. And that job gave him COS. The wife came to me and said, listen, that care job, like she's not going back. how do we she get into a civil service job? And I said to her, okay, let us. Now she started 2 weeks ago, and she said to me, the woman is not happy. She's comfortable. She's not stressing. So please, for couples, I want you to understand that both parties should sit together. If one person is having the COS, in fact, when this flyer was out, my friend called me in Glasgow, Aberdeen, and said, listen, you need to speak to somebody because the wife is at the verge. Homes are being threatened because the wife takes the body mostly because she does the care job. The man is asking for so much responsibility because his job is not hard. But because they have the COS, they have to depend. Why not help by trying to get a job that takes that burden off? And people just feel that it's only care. It is not care. If you are really interested in doing some of these things that changes this landscape, I think this is not the right time to do that. We'll do it probably, I'll still be around. Let us have a chat. I'll give you links. And in fact, I'm even happy to be part of that mentorship group you guys want to establish remotely, just to offer advice on how to do these things. And God, you will see that you start to change things drastically. Please, the experiences of applying for jobs, you get setback, and you become so tired. Please, don't give up. But one thing you need to change, if your CV is failing, change your CV. That is where the employer is not seeing you. They see the content of what you're sending. I reviewed a CV last week for a lady. The woman put on the CV that she lived in Ojigbo, in Lagos. She put things that when I looked at it, I was like, is this a CV? So I now had to say, madam, let us talk. We talked, and I redid the CV, and I sent it to her. She looked at me. That is the power of it. It is helping somebody realize that, oh, this is what I've done. I can do it better, or I can change this to look more attractive to an employer. Please, let us learn from those experiences and also be flexible. Let us be flexible and adaptable in the sense that when you do have an entry job and you've passed in your first stage, the next thing is that let us start to learn from people. Learn from people. I want to see what you're doing. We have in our in the department, we have what we call BIG, which is for black people. So we will come together and I will ask you, hey, what are you doing today? What is your project like? You will tell me. In fact, there's my fellow friend, she will take my knowledge and she will go and use to do interview. Because she's got the basis, right? She will comfortably go and say it because she knows the project in and out, because I've told her what the project is. So please, let us try as much as possible, get the right contact, and God will help us in the mighty name of Jesus. How do you measure your success? When you're doing a job and it's giving you the right income, know that the job is right. If the job allows you to serve God, know that that job is right. If the job does not allow you to serve God, I will tell you that job is not for you. Because that's what the devil will trick you. The devil will say, it's fine, you're meeting your needs, God is blessing you. But at the end of the day, when that roster is open and said, God will ask you that same question I was asked, what did you do for me? Then what would you say? I was busy chasing the things of this world? Really? So please, our availability to serving God is important. Continuous improvement. Let us keep. I have learned so many languages. Java, Python. As soon as they bring it out, we want to get our head into it to understand it. Now, the languages are the same. The way they have written it are the same. But what they have done, they have just simplified it. Somebody has come in and said, okay, let us do it this way. All we need to do is understand it. We have the basic knowledge. So what we do is just, what is this person saying differently? Understand it and take it on board. So please, let us learn. Keep learning. The day we stop learning, we start to die. Let us continue to learn. I'm conscious of time. How many of you work from home just at the moment? You're doing a job that you work from home, you don't need to go anywhere. Yeah? Where again? So, work from home, Monday to Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That number needs to be probably everybody. Listen, because what? if you work from home, you will see the beauty of serving God. You can listen to your message. God will inspire you before meetings. I have prayed, God, cancel this meeting before like 30 minutes to the time because I wasn't prepared. Cancel this meeting, and God canceled the meeting. Because of what? I was busy running the errand of my father to do, which was important. I said I wasn't ready for this big meeting. Father canceled it. Even when I was preaching on last month, I said this thing. I said, Father, cancel this meeting. And a few minutes to the end, I say, sorry, the big boss for this meeting cannot be available, so let us cancel it. That is God in action. See, test this God. Test him. And the time we did the presentation, I smashed it out of the park because God gave me time. I needed time. So please, if you work from home, you have the flexibility. How do you work from home? There are so many